So today, we're diving into a story that has, well, literally everything. Love, betrayal, and a single explosive moment where it all comes crashing down. It's a truly shocking cautionary tale about how one terrible decision can spiral into absolute chaos.
Okay, I want you to think about the worst day you've ever had at work. You know that feeling, right? You're completely drained, just done. Now imagine finally getting home, craving just a little bit of peace, only to walk straight into a living nightmare. And it all starts with this one simple, really unsettling detail. You pull up to your own house, totally exhausted, and there it is. A car you've never seen before parked in your driveway. Your stomach just drops. You're not expecting anyone. And then, as you get closer to your own front door, you hear it. It's not laughing. It's not music. It's screaming. There's a commotion coming from inside your house. Your heart starts pounding. You know something is terribly, terribly wrong. So you throw open the door, and the scene is, well, it's just bizarre. Your husband is standing there, completely naked, holding a bowl, and he is just covered from head to toe in whipped cream. And just when you think it cannot possibly get any weirder, you see him. A man you've never laid eyes on before, and he's pointing a revolver right at your husband and at a naked woman standing right beside him. Okay, so who are all these people and this absolute mess of a scene? Let's meet the players. It's a small group, but trust me, each one has a critical part to play in how this whole disaster unfolds. All right, first up we've got Gina, the 29-year-old wife who just walked in on all of this. Her husband is Alexander, a 32-year-old English professor. The other woman? That's Lydia. She's a 21-year-old student. And the man with the gun? Well, that's Gerard, Lydia's 30-year-old and, as you can imagine, very angry boyfriend. So the big question is, how on earth did we get here? To really understand the explosion that happens in that living room, we've got to rewind just a few hours and see the day through Gina's eyes. You see, Gina was having just a monster of a day at work. She was dealing with this super nagging coworker, Jessica, while trying to wrap up this massive international project that was due the very next day. I mean, the pressure was on, her job was on the line. She was so stressed out and exhausted, she just decided, forget staying late, I'm going home. And this is where the tragic irony just hits you like a ton of bricks. Look at this quote. All she wanted, all she was dreaming about, was escaping her nightmare job and just finding some comfort with her husband. A quiet, relaxing evening. She had no idea she was about to walk out of one bad situation and straight into a catastrophic one. So let's jump back into that living room, where Gina's dream of a quiet night is about to get completely and utterly shattered. The second Gina walks in, she's in total shock. She just freezes and her briefcase falls to the floor. And that loud thud, it's like a starting pistol. Chaos just erupts. Her husband, Alexander, and the gunman, Gerard, immediately start wrestling for control of that revolver. And in this crazy, frantic struggle that follows, the gun goes off. Not just once, but twice. And those two gunshots are going to change every single life in that room forever. Okay, so here's exactly how this terrifying moment goes down. First, as the two men are fighting, the gun fires. A bullet hits Gina in the shoulder. In all the confusion, Lydia, the student, grabs the gun from the floor. Gerard lunges at her, and startled, she pulls the trigger, shooting him in the thigh. Then, in a final moment of pure panic, she just drops the gun, grabs her dress, and bolts out the back door. So what happens after the sirens have faded and all the chaos dies down? Well, that's when the true, long-term price of this affair really starts to settle in for everyone involved. Well, for Gerard, it's pretty straightforward. He's taken to the hospital and then immediately arrested. Lydia gets arrested too, but she's eventually let go after the shooting is ruled self-defense. And Gina, the ultimate victim in all this, spends 2 months recovering from her gunshot wound before, not surprisingly, she files for divorce. And Alexander, his entire life just implodes. And the contrast for Alexander, I mean, it is just staggering to look at. Before this one night, he was a respected English professor, a husband, a homeowner. And after, he's divorced, disgraced, and has to move back in with his parents. A single act of betrayal cost him literally everything he had.
So let's pull back for a second. What's the bigger picture here? What does this one totally disastrous night teach us about the real-world consequences of a lie?
This right here, this really gets to the heart of the whole thing. Betrayal shatters so much more than just a person's feelings. As we just saw, it can lead to actual physical violence, serious legal trouble, and the complete and total destruction of a life. It can shatter absolutely everything. The source material uses this word detrimental. And what does that mean? It just means tending to cause harm. And as we've seen, the harm here went way beyond hurt feelings. We're talking physical, financial, and psychological harm. Cheating was, without a doubt, detrimental to everyone's health in this story.
And that brings us to this final, really powerful question, which is pulled right from the source material. I mean, after seeing a life get completely dismantled over an affair, you just have to ask yourself, why? Why risk it all, your home, your safety, your entire future, for what amounts to a few moments of pleasure? It's definitely a question worth thinking about.